My name is David. I'm one of the UX designers and front-end developers for BikeSpace. And over to my left here is Jan. He's one of the full-stack developers on BikeSpace. So what is the issue we're trying to solve? Well, who here has biked around Toronto before? Anytime. Oh, wow, that's like 70%. OK. And who here does it regularly? And who here bikes in the winter? OK, good job. Very good job. Good job. We don't even expect that. But so who here, as they're biking, has encountered problems parking their bike at the end of it? All right. That's more than one, so that's pretty good. Low standards. All right. So basically, the issue we're looking at is bike parking. When you get to that final last 50 meters of your journey, where are you going to park your bike? You run into all these problems. You've got places where there's not enough bike parking. You've got places where all the bike racks are full, even if they are there. You've got bikes with no wheels taking up spaces, all these sort of problems. So BikeSpace is there to map where we need more and better bike parking around Toronto. We're going to talk a little bit about our unique process here because we are from Civic Tech Toronto. So we are a volunteer-run organization. Yeah, and so basically all our volunteers, over 100 volunteers have worked on this project to date, which come through Civic Tech Toronto. That's over 75 Civic Tech meetups that we've met at to hack on this project, and more than 70 additional work sessions here at the City of Toronto, actually. We had funding through the City of Toronto for about a year and a half, and all of this was supported by the good people at Code for Canada as well. As far as our design process goes, we were able to do this collaboratively. I wanted to point this out as the UX designer on the project. At one point, we had 5 different designers working on the same screen, which if you know anything about designers is a little bit of a miracle. But yeah, it worked out, and the final thing that we're going to talk about is continuous integration. So we are a fairly small project and fairly new, but we found it was very important to have a continuous integration module because we do have people that come to hack on our project for even as little as 1 day. So we wanted to be able to have an efficient way for them to get started and start coding, as well as not having to worry about all the testing and integration at the end. Demo time. Yeah. All right, so this is our app. It's a web app. It's mobile first, not mobile friendly. So once we go into it, you'll see it basically looks like a mobile screen. Click in. Yeah, and the first thing we ask is, what was the issue you had? We have 4 to choose from right now, and a 5th something else, just in case it isn't covered here. So we're going to go ahead and choose bike parking is not provided. That is the problem today we're looking at, because if you look around, I don't see any bike racks in here. Yeah. After that, we go to where was the problem, and there's no GPS signal. Oh no. OK, if we were on Wi-Fi, it would default to the Wi-Fi location. Is this going to be a problem? We're on my phone, so yeah, it's very confused. So this should work. Can we still press next? Oh no. All right.
Live demo, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no. OK, so at this point, we did practice this so many times. At this point, it checks for the geolocation. Yes, there we go. Problem solved. It'll check for the general geolocation. If it can't find it, it'll default to City Hall, and you can move the pin as needed. So we'll go on to the next step here. Yeah, you can move the pin around. Next, we ask for when did this happen? We've gotten what was the problem, where did it happen? Now we're asking when. And we also ask how long you needed to park. This is specifically because the City of Toronto wanted data on what types of bike racks were needed in certain areas, as they have different types of bike racks depending on how long it's being used and what it's being used for. And now we have the option to add a photo. We're not going to add a photo today because the problem we had was that the bike parking didn't exist. So what would we take a photo of? Just hundreds of lovely people? I don't know. So we're going to go ahead. We've got an option to add comments if there's anything else to add about the problem you encountered. And then, lovely message. We have a final summary just to confirm everything that you've put in, make sure all your data is correct. And I'd like to point out the intersection there. That's actually, instead of showing a little map pin that would be unreadable or like the lat long on it, we actually default to the closest, largest major intersection. So yeah, and that's done. Your data is sent over to BikeSpace, where it is moderated and eventually comes out on this dashboard. So here we have all the pins. This is all fully open source code, first of all, and it's also fully available data to the public. So we're going to zoom in here, and you can see it's just got a little preview of another issue that came up, which was an abandoned bike. And just over on the left here, we've got some information that you can break down. You can also filter this in the little hidden menu there. So you can choose a few different options for the date range, how long the bike was parked there, and this is all accessible to the people at the City of Toronto, as well as any public landowners. All right, I think we're done. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Let's take some questions. As a reminder, there is one question you may not ask the demoers tonight. What is it? How they're going to monetize your abandoned bike data. All right, so let's focus on the tech, let's focus on the problem. Not all at once, please.
Hey, so interesting, collecting data, visualizing it for people to use. What's the incentive for people to provide that data?
So we work very closely with Cycle Toronto, as well as we were working with the City of Toronto. Incentive for the City of Toronto to have this work well is that they get much better data that they don't have to pay people to go find. It comes directly from the source, it's crowdsourced, and the incentive for Cycle Toronto is a lot of them are cyclists that encounter these problems on a daily basis. So it's really coming from an actual user need, the problem here. So there's no reason to add an incentive to that, especially when we are on a very tiny shoestring budget. So we're solving a problem, yeah.
One last question. Jamie, do you want to ask about CI? All right, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, yeah. One last comment. Sorry, if there's no more other question, can I give one comment?
For sure.
One thing I forgot to cover is, as of last week, we've actually been forked by the City of Edmonton. So this being open software, this is moving across Canada. So yeah, that's pretty exciting for us.
Congratulations.